You've decided that you want to grow your business by referral. You want to be able to meet the right people. And so you're going networking, and you might be wondering how to be a successful networker. Hi, my name is Tiffanie Kellog, and I'm super excited to be exploring this conversation around how to be a successful networker. And I've given a lot of thought to this, and really it's going to be hard to cram it all into a 10-minute video. It's probably more like book length. And I actually did write the book on how to be a successful networker. So this is the 4.5 networking mistakes, all the things the experts tell you to do that you shouldn't be doing, plus the 19 networking nuggets, what to do before, during, and after a networking event, plus how to deal with networking nervousness. Though I've already got the book written. So what I thought I'd do is I'd ask the people in my network, because if we're doing some networking where we're creating that network of people that we know, I thought I'd ask some people in my network their thoughts on what it would take to be a successful networker. So we're going to dive into their thoughts, and I'm going to expand upon it just a little bit. So we're going to start with Stefan Molander, who is a fellow Ascenta facilitator. He is over in Europe while I am here in the United States. And he brings up a very good question with this idea of what it takes to be a successful networker. He shared, what is the definition of a networker? Is to college, most BC, or contacts on LinkedIn? Is it to attend events or something else? So I think that in this definition of networker, at least where I'm coming from, I'm going to go with the idea that we're going to be attending networking events. I think, yes, all of those are amazing questions. I know every year one of the local colleges has me come in and speak to their students on networking for getting the job. But today we're going to talk about networking, going to those networking events to build those business relationships, which hopefully will lead to success in your business. When asked this question on Instagram, Carola, who is also known as the Wellness Institute, shared this: be consistent in showing up. And I think that's a really great place for us to start in this idea of how to be a successful networker. We actually have to show up. When it comes to this idea of networking, to me, it's about building relationships. It's gaining that know, like, and trust. And so it has to be done over time. Dr. Ivan Meisner, the founder of BNI and Ascentive, likes to talk about networking is much more about farming than it is about hunting. And I see people all the time, like, I showed up this networking event, this networking group once. I've been there, done that, didn't get anything out of it, or just met one person and I'm moving on. They're hunting. They're trying to see what's there in the room. And they're probably selling, and you don't want to be selling. To me, when I go networking, I want to book a meeting from the meeting. I want to work on developing that relationship. So it is much more about farming. And so it may be the first time that I meet you, the fourth time that I meet you, the seventh time that I meet you, that you're ready to purchase from me, or you're ready to refer me, or you're finally willing even just let us have an appointment, sit down for coffee and get to know each other better. So we want to show up, and we want to show up consistently. That's one of the things about networking groups. I think a lot of times people think, I'm going to go once, it's good. You have to go over and over and over again. You have to show up on time, be prepared. Let people know that, yes, you can trust me, but we've got to build that know and like first. As we're showing up, I think it's important for us to create a goal. And that's actually networking nugget number 3 from the 4.5 networking mistakes. You want to create a goal. So your goal may be around how many people do you want to meet? And are those prospects or are those referral sources? It could be how many appointments do you want to make? It could be that you're looking to reconnect or generate referrals for people in your network. That's one of my favorite reasons to go to networking events. It's who can I meet that would be a good referral to someone else in my network. One thing I think that shouldn't be a goal when you go to networking events, and this is what you hear a lot of people here, is I want to pass out 50 business cards. I want to give a card to everyone I meet. And I don't think that's something that you want to do. I actually call it in-person spamming when you give your business card to somebody that hasn't asked for it yet. And that's actually one of the networking mistakes that we talk about in the 4.5 networking mistakes, is giving somebody a card before they ask for it. So you want to make sure that you only give a card to somebody when they ask for it, and don't make a goal of how many cards are you passing out. Back on Instagram, when I asked this question, Jeanine McLeod of Cloud9 Studios, who's done the covers to my books and a lot of my headshots, she shared this: genuinely trying to find ways to help those you are networking with. And I love the idea of helping others. Or in networking nugget number 9 from the book, we talk about offering support. And this could be, hey, I just met you, so I'm probably not going to refer you yet, but can I introduce you to other people here at the event? Can I invite you to other events that I'm going to be a part of? During our conversation, did you share a challenge with me that maybe gives me an opportunity to create an introduction to somebody else in my network? Remember, that's why I love to go to networking events. Or perhaps it's, a challenge that I know of an amazing article or video, whether it's my own or someone else's, that I can send to you. I'm offering support. I'm doing some follow up. Ooh, and that reminds me, we'll talk on follow up in just a few minutes. The next 2 points were echoed by people in my network. Courtney Nestler, who handles my social media on Facebook and Instagram, shares, be a good active listener. And Bharat, who is ascensive in India, he shared, successful networker is a great listener. And yes, so I think both of you correct. Networking nugget number 10 is listen and ask the 5 W questions plus H. So we want to listen accordingly. We've got 2 ears and 1 mouth. Use them accordingly. Listen to others. And you can ask them questions: who, what, where, when, why, and how. And by listening, people really feel like they're engaging with you. Most people's favorite subject is themselves, so it gives them an opportunity to talk about themselves, and you get to learn about them and their business. And I think about when I'm networking, it's not that everybody I meet is a good prospect for me, and how do I sell to everybody? It's as I'm talking to the person, does it make sense? Is this going to be somebody that helps me get to my results? Am I going to enjoy being around the person? And so it's not just about like, okay, what can you do for me? It's like, how does this work? And I often think about networking kind of like speed dating. Not that I've ever actually done speed dating, but I've seen it on TV where people are meeting, and it's not at the end of the event. I want to say, okay, I met with 30 people, and those 30 people I'm interested in. I met with those 30 people, and here's the 2 or 3 that I want to have those follow-up conversations with. That's why we booked that meeting from the meeting. I do think that most people think about creating success in networking as when you're at the event and what you're doing. As you can tell, we talked about what do we do before the event with setting the goal. Then we do the event, being an active listener, offering support, creating those relationships. And the last thing that we want to talk about is follow-up, because to me, it doesn't matter what you did before and during the event if you don't do the follow-up. And so to me, following up, networking nugget number 18 and 19 from the 4.5 networking mistakes. Networking nugget number 18 is follow-up, 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 follow-up. So whether it's I'm sending a handwritten note, I'm texting them, I'm emailing them, or I'm even picking up the phone and calling, make sure that you follow up. Typically between 24 and 48 hours will work. Though if it's 72 or even a week, I think you can get away with it. If it's much past that, then maybe not. And I do have like a full-length video on what's the best way to follow up, and I get in depth into the different options and what could work best for you. And then networking nugget number 19 is connect online to support those offline relationships. Now, some of these networking events that we're doing, we're actually hanging out in person. Some of them were here on the computer, like you're watching today. Regardless of where you're networking, so maybe we'll change the offline part of it to people that you met at an event. I encourage you to connect with people online. My rule of thumb is if I meet you at a networking event, I'm okay with going to LinkedIn, finding you, and connecting. Any of the other platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever is cool while you're watching this video, I typically am only going to connect if you have it in your email signature, it's on your business card, or it's on your website. So to me, I don't want to be, connecting with everybody on Facebook because not everybody uses it in that way. But if it's in your signature, if it's on your card, or if it's in your website, then I feel like it's safe to connect. So these are some thoughts from people out there in the world on how to be a successful networker. In the comments below, I would love to hear your thoughts on what makes a successful networker. And if you go to my YouTube channel, I have lots and lots of videos on, creating success when networking. We didn't even touch on like funneling conversations, which is the better alternative to using an elevator pitch. And how do we deal with networking nervousness? But we scratched the surface on how to be a successful networker. I look forward to reading your comments below. Be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Happy networking, y'all.